one thing we've gained from the deaths of the Shafia women is a new dialogue on multiculturalism and immigration in Canada. Citizens of Adler Nation have been asking, how can we stop the twisted values of the likes of Mohammed Shafia from crossing our borders? How can we make it clear that in this country we respect life and liberty and will defend anyone who tries to cut it short for so-called cultural reasons? With this case drawing to a close, I can only hope defenders of the so-called honor will think twice before they kill for it. Our next guest knows the consequences of that mentality very well. Raj Sharma is a partner with Stuart Sharma Harsani, an immigration law firm based in Calgary. Raj, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
Please bring us your personal story. What is it that brings you to this issue tonight?
Well, Charles, something that still resonates strongly with me with the Shafia murder trial on the news was, of course, that my uncle was killed some 21 years ago by someone with a perverted sense of honor.
Can you take us back to that day 21 years ago, Raj? What happened?
Well, in essence, Daljit Singh Dulé was so offended by his sister's marriage with another individual that he tracked her down to Calgary, where she was living, and her husband was working for my uncle, and tracked her down and killed his sister, killed his brother-in-law, and my uncle was a bystander, and he was killed that day as well in front of his pregnant wife.
Now, you're involved in immigration law. Do you ever think about what the law can do or what authorities can do to prevent people who have that kind of wiring, who can hurt people, specifically wives, daughters, in this particular case, your uncle? Is there anything that you can think of as a lawyer who's had to think about this for 21 years to prevent this from happening, to prevent people like this from being here in the first place?
Well, the law is a blunt instrument, Charles. I mean, ultimately, the law is concerned itself with individual pathologies. So an individual, a sick man, such as Mr. Shafia, is before the court and the Canadian justice system, of course, which rendered a fair verdict. And so the court is constrained by these individual pathologies. So I don't know if the court or our legal system can take itself away from that individual case and apply it to a broader perspective. I think that's the realm of our policies and our immigration and, of course, our policy of multiculturalism.
So basically, you're in favor of an immigration system that is an honor system, and I'm not using the word honor the way the Shafias use it, that we simply trust people who want to come to Canada, that they'll be good people, and as long as they don't have criminal records in their homelands, that's as far as we should go with the screening. I mean, just asking, is that your take?
No, not at all. There's something fundamentally wrong with the way that our immigration system works. In this case, Mr. Shafia was a man with a large bank balance, and it appears that that's how he came to Canada, and that's got to be the wrong way. An individual shouldn't be able to come to Canada simply because he has the economic means to do so. We've got to look beyond that. We've got to look beyond checklists when we allow someone to immigrate to this country. As a lawyer, as an immigration lawyer, I see clients who sometimes treat Canada like a hotel, a very nice hotel with very nice amenities and a safe place, but there's no two-way interaction between the state and these individuals. They come to Canada, and of course our social fabric is strengthened and enlightened by immigration, but at the same time, they themselves are not adjusting or acclimatizing to this country either. So there's something fundamentally wrong with our system right now. We're selecting the wrong type of people. We're putting emphasis on the wrong factors, and we have a problem in Canada with criticizing cultural belief systems. We have a problem criticizing regressive belief systems regarding the control of female sexuality or women's sexuality, and we don't want to criticize those belief systems because I think we're afraid of being called racist or xenophobic.
Yeah, I have no trouble criticizing. I'm just going to challenge you on this. Many of us don't have trouble Many of us have trouble with those people who have trouble because there's something wrong with them. You know, how many people have to die before we worry about our comfort? There's nothing comfortable about this issue. But I can tell you that I wouldn't sleep tonight if I was afraid of criticizing. If I'm afraid of criticizing people who loathe the members of their own family, want them dead, and after they're dead, want all kinds of other horrible things to be visited, if I'm uncomfortable with that, then I really should be doing something else with my life. Here's my question to you.
I think you're in the minority then.
Well,
because people in Canada are afraid. I think people in Canada are afraid of confronting this. I mean, you have a CIC publication where Minister Kennedy put out a publication called Female Genital Mutilation, a Barbaric Practice, and you have politicians like Justin Trudeau who said that we shouldn't use the word barbaric. Well, I think there's something wrong then.
Well, what do I care what Justin Trudeau says? I mean, on this issue and many others, he's a sackless wonder. I mean, his own father would be ashamed of Justin Trudeau having a problem with that being in the pamphlet. That's light to tell people, oh, by the way, you should be against genital mutilation. If Justin Trudeau has a problem with that, I don't know what kind of man he is, and the fact that his last name happens to be Trudeau doesn't impress me.
Well, I have a big problem with the apologists, right, regarding honor crimes. I think we should call a spade a spade.
Raj, on that we agree. Let's visit again down the road. Thank you very, very much. I know this, you know, we talk about comfortable. This can't possibly be a comfortable thing for you to talk about in light of what happened to your uncle 21 years ago. But thanks for speaking out here on the Sun News Network tonight.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.